Hello everyone, Argsy here. Welcome back to Elk Mountain. Now I know I said at the end of the last episode we were going to make a start in the gold mine today, and that is still 100% the plan. But I did have a few people who commented and said, why don't you build a ramp to be able to dump the stones into rather than using the pickup conveyor? Have a ramp that allows you to back the trailer right up and into the crusher. So we have gone and placed a ramp down. We've used one of the ones from ModHub. There was 2 or 3 options, and I think the one we've used was probably the best. It's a nice long ramp, nice good height. So we're just getting a load of stones in there. It should be full, so we'll just wait and see. There we go, they are heading off. So we'll go and hop into the tractor, or at least we'll go over to the ramp and see how it all goes with backing into it. Alright, so you can see our ramp we've got set up here in front of the crusher. Now we had to move everything along just a little bit, just to make sure we had enough space. We'll just watch here and see if the tractor managed to negotiate its way in here or not. Now, hopefully it's going to nose up there into the grass quite a way, and then coming back up in here. Now I've had a little bit of mixed success, and that's where I think we might be better if we didn't have a trailer, because the trailer has the pivot, if we actually had like a rock truck or something like that. Because I think, and we are just going to miss the edge there. So you can see though that the proof is the proof of concept is there. I think it's just the choice of equipment and machinery is probably not the best. If we just jump in there and quickly turn that course off for a second, I'm just going to demonstrate and see if we can get these tipped in here. So if we're able to navigate the ramp with the likes of a rock truck, we can make this work. Alright, so we'll just get backed up in here and stop just short, and there we go, we do get a tip trigger. And we can tip our rocks into the crusher. Now like I said, we're not quite accurate, but we can't go any further back. It is clashing there with the hopper, and it won't take the whole load because it's not turned on and processing it. But that is proof of concept for that. So I think if we look at replacing equipment, or maybe swapping out some equipment, maybe a Volvo rock truck. Now if we just have a look in the shop, there's something here like this lizard dumper. These were obviously they're modelled on a cat, but these were actually released on ModHub for all platforms quite recently. So something like this, 25,000 litres, would probably handle that quite simply, back up there quite easily. So we might even look at adding one of those. Now we've got some money, we know how quickly we can make some money off our stones. So there we go. That thank you to everyone who suggested that as an option. It looks like it might be a goer for when we are back down here and producing. Now that would obviously mean the only thing we need to do is load the trailers, because that is all automated from there all the way to here is all automated. We can have the trucks running, we can have the crushers and everything on, and they're being supplied. So that would certainly probably speed things up and make things a lot more efficient. We can keep this tractor here obviously, because it could still do the stones for the lime, so we'll keep that in mind. But anyhow, we're going to go hop into the pickup and head on up to the mine. Here we are at the gold mine. We've made the trek over from the gravel mine across the valley, and we are arriving now. We're going to take a quick look around. The most obvious difference to the base game is you'll notice we've got Elk Mountain Modding's a big equipment shed workshop here. Thought this would be a perfect place to put this and set it up as our, I guess, our home base for the AG empire that we have running here, all the AG industries. We've got a nice nice workshop office and everything that goes with that. Very, very well detailed. So you can find this shed is available on Elk Mountain Modding's Facebook page. So go in and have a look. Big space out here, lots of workshop space, even has the lift. I think we can come over and press the button. There we go, it should be on it. But this takes us up the top. This is it's a really nice shed, I do like this. Very, very cool. We can go back down now. Health and safety, we'll just jump off the edge here. So we've got we've got a diesel trailer up here. Obviously there's a lot more equipment, and we don't want to be running equipment up out of the mine pit to be refueled. So we've got that. We can take down to the bottom of the pit and refuel our equipment that we've got down there. Over the other side here, we've got a water and a diesel fill point, so that's where we'll get all our diesel from. Over in the gold room, gold smelter, nothing much to see here. It's set up and ready to go for when we have some concentrate and everything to wash, and, or, you know, what is it, gold dust, gold, can't remember what this is. Concentrate. Concentrate? Let's have a look. The smelter just takes gold. Straight gold. Of course, in its, not powdered form, but in its coarse form before it's melted down. The Prowler gooseneck trailer by Northwest Mods and Edits, that was what we will be using to bring our concentrate up from down at the wash plant. Bring it up here into the washroom. We do have a Manitou, the forklift there, bit of an all-terrain type forklift, so we can use that to move pallets back and forth between these two sheds and load the gold out at the end. But here is the washroom. It does need some diesel put into it actually. We don't have that, I think. There we go. Yeah, concentrate and diesel to go in here to make the gold. So we'll need to get some diesel in here. Now we'll just use our fast little legs and run all the way down here and have a look at what we have here. We've kind of done this a little bit backwards, but down here at the wash plant, got a couple more trucks there ready to go on a loop. Obviously they dump the pay dirt up in here and that will go up into the wash plant and get washed out. We do have the JCB telehandler, again another mod I believe was on the mod hub. We're going to be using that to load our concentrate and take that up the top. And then over here, this is a beautiful, beautiful truck pack. I do like this. You might have noticed it. I think the Farm Sim guy has been running this in his Elk Mountain roleplay, and this is the Terror that has tormented him going up and down the roads a couple of times, if you're familiar with that series. If you haven't watched that, honestly, go and give it a watch. It is compelling viewing, and he is doing a fantastic job with that. This is the T900 Legend series, and it has this wonderful dump bed and this great pup trailer. This is a very, very similar. This actually looks like a lot of trucks we have here in New Zealand running gravel mines and roading companies and all those kind of things, but all in bulk material. So very, very nice to see that. So that is the wash plant. Now we'll just go and peek over the, walk across the back of the wash plant there. We'll just go and peek in here and have a look down into the pit at what you can see down there. So we've got a couple of excavators, a Volvo wheel loader down there, and another one of the Volvo trucks. And we will head down there in a minute to get things set up and started. Just wanted to give you a rundown on what equipment we've got here. We've got a lot of dirt down there in the mine to get through, so looking forward to getting down there. So with those introductions and that overview done, let's go and take a look and start to get some dirt up here into the wash plant. Alright, we are down here, so we've got the Volvo loader there, the Volvo truck. Now I'm just going to jump up in here in the truck. This is going to be running on auto drive, and I think we will set up 3 trucks doing this. We've obviously got the other big Volvo tipper and the smaller rock truck up there to run the loop. We'll see how quickly we can keep those running. If they start queuing up for too long here, we might have to reduce the number. If we start running out of trucks, we might have to add another one in. So we'll just see what is going to be the best option there. Now this has a capacity of 72,000 litres, and I believe the Volvo bucket is about 18,000. Yeah, there we go. I did remember it correctly. 18,000, and that's compared to the Hitachi we have over at the gravel mine, which is only 10,000. So quite a lot bigger bucket. 18,000 goes into 72 4 times. So we will need 4 loads of this to fill up the gravel truck there, or the dirt truck, whatever you want to call it. Now the course we have set up for this runs up to the top of the mine. We've got down here, we're at the gold pit truck load, and it will run up to the wash plant dirt fill, which is basically a reverse course up the ramp into the hopper, and we'll tip the dirt, which is what we need. So we're just going to turn that on. Should just wait here, ready to go, and we'll jump down into the Volvo and get some dirt into it. Now just in case you haven't watched my video on using Terrafarm for mining, one thing to make sure you have is the correct fill type here, because the wash plant takes dirt. It doesn't take pay dirt or anything like that, so it would be an easy mistake to make. Best way to check that is to look in your production chains and see what the inputs are required for your wash plant. So just looking here, we've got the gold wash plant, takes dirt and diesel, gives us tailings and our concentrate. So we need to make sure our fill type that we are putting into the wash plant, what we're loading here out of the mine, is in fact dirt. So by opening this up, we can see there that our material at the moment is set to stones. So we want to change that through to dirt. There it is there. Now, again, I did explain this in my video on Terrafarm mining for this map. This is specific, and you'll see it up the top here, this is specific to this bucket. It doesn't change the settings on any of the others. So the Hitachi over at the gravel mine should still be dirt. And if we were to start using the wheel loaders that the excavators we've got down here, they would also need to be changed to dirt. So that there should be good. Now we need to change our terraform. We want to be setting that to flatten, same as we've got down at the gravel one, and we want it on discharge. So with that, press O, turn it on. Let's see if we can get a load here into the truck and send it on its way. Alright, there we go, 18,000 litres. Now one thing I've found, the best way to do this is to slowly raise the bucket, rather than just trying to drive into the side of a hill. Raise the bucket slowly, and it seems to be much more efficient at filling up. I noticed that in the gravel mine, so I'll just demonstrate that here as we drive up against the face here. So when it starts getting quite steep, just slowly drag it up, and it does seem to fill a lot quicker than if you were just doing it right at the bottom of the hill, or the bottom of the mound. So that's just a little tip. So we'll get a couple more loads in here, then we'll jump into the truck actually and head on up the hill with it up to the wash plant, and see how that all works when it tips in up the top. Alright, that should be full, so we'll just hop out of here and go and jump into the truck before it runs off without us. Alright, let's follow this up. Now I'll just skip through most of the route up here, but I do just want to talk about one point, because it does get quite narrow, so that is going to be a bit of a pinch point possibly when we have the 2 or 3 trucks running on the course. The other thing you do notice is while it's not too far to go, it's pretty slow going with 72,000 litres of dirt heading up the hill here. So we'll follow along, and we'll see you up at the wash plant in just a minute. So like I said, as we come up here, this is a real pinch point for the course. Now I have kept it as far to the right as I can, but you can see there it's going to be pretty tight to try and get 2 of these trucks through. So we're just going to have to be mindful of that. Now hopefully the other rock truck is a little bit narrower than these big Volvos, so we might be able to alternate them, and hopefully they might never cross paths at that point, but we'll just have to keep an eye on it and wait and see. But we'll just carry on up around here, and we'll get this dumped up into the wash plant. So the truck should carry on this left-hand turn and get to a point where it will be able to back up. Now this will highlight what I was suggesting down at the gravel mine earlier, that would be better using a truck rather than a trailer and tractor, because obviously it doesn't have that articulation between the 2 implements, or the implement and the tractor. There we are, this is reversing up. We just spin around. We'll change the angle a little bit. Should get up here to the tip point for the hopper and dump the dirt in. And there we go. So there's no visual animation on there, which is a little bit off, but you can see we are dumping out, and if we have a look at the wash plant, we should see some dirt going in there. And there you are, 72,000 litres of dirt. We do need to get some diesel though, so that will be something else we'll have to sort out. We've got a little bit of space in there. Looks like we can probably 10 or so truckloads in there. So this should now head on back down into the bottom of the pit. So while we're up here, let's throw these other 2 trucks onto the same course. Glitch through the truck there, and we will go back down and keep on filling. Alright, so we're down here in the bottom of the pit again. The first truck's back down here, the others are on their way. So I think there's nothing left to do then just carry on here with loading trucks. I think we might put this on a little bit of a time lapse, see how it goes. I'll try and keep the movements as non-jerky as possible with a articulated loader, and we'll just see how we go getting half a dozen or 10 or so loads into the wash plant. I did just see the glimpse of another truck on its way down, so we'll carry on, and we'll catch up with you again soon. Well, we've waited a little bit, but the other truck has not come back down, which does not bode well. We'll go up to the wash plant and take a look. I'm a little bit worried that that centre pivoting truck may have had an issue backing up the ramp. So we'll go have a look and see where the problem might be. Alright, so we've just got up here. It was stationary on the ramp. It had got about halfway up and had gone back down, but it does look like this truck maybe going to be a bit of a problem. See if we can get it into the tip point there. Oh, there we go. No, it has detected it that time, so I'm not quite sure what was wrong. I have just moved the tip point back, so if we just have a look here, I did move it back a little bit, so it may be, no, because it's going to go back. We might need to move that just forward a little bit, but there we go. We've managed to get that back to where it needs to be, so we'll carry back on. We'll let these other two go on, and we'll get back down into the pit and a few more loads up here. In fact, while we're up here, we might as well have a look and see how much dirt we've got in the wash plant already. So we're just over half full, so we must take 250,000 litres, so it's not going to take too many more loads to get that up here. So we'll go down and we'll get this filled up, and then we'll come up and sort out some diesel and get it up and running. Well, I think we're going to get rid of the smaller of the three rock trucks. Had another little incident with it, and it has missed tipping. That was when I was in control. It wasn't auto drive, because of course auto drive will only tip when the trigger's detected. But fortunately we had the JCB little skid steer here, and we have a bucket for it, so we can just get this tidied up. And we do have the last truckload of dirt that needs to go into the wash plant sitting here ready to go. So as soon as we've got this done, we'll get that tipped in, and we'll go and grab some diesel from up in the diesel tank and bring it down here in the trailer. And here we go, we're getting the last of the dirt into the wash plant, tipping there, which is good. Now I don't think it's going to take it all. I think I just looked, and there's only about capacity of about 40,000 litres, so it should tip, leave about 30,000 in the truck. There we go, and that must be the wash plant full. And indeed, 500,000 litres of dirt there. So we will we'll head up to the shed. We'll go and bring the diesel trailer down, and we'll get some diesel put into this and get it up and running. Can anyone not hook up to one of these trailers and just want to say thunder? I think it's obligatory, isn't it? Right, let's get some diesel into it. Now we'll just see. I don't think we've got any in this diesel tank, so we're probably just going to have to buy some. Get it topped up. So just pop over here and have a look. Here we go, 10,000 litres, must be its max capacity, so we will buy that. We've got enough money to be able to afford that, and we should now pop back here into the truck. Be able to find a way to get some diesel in. There it is filling up. Gosh, it's going to take a wee while to fill, so we'll leave this running and then head down to the wash plant. And there we go, 100% full. That took quite a while actually, pump all of that, but let's get this down now and we will go and put it into the wash plant. We have to do the same thing up here in the washroom as well, but let's head over here. We don't want to drive down the wrong way. Not quite sure how much diesel this will take either, but we'll go and have a look. There we go, back up to the generator, appropriate, and we will start getting some diesel in there. Now if we bring up the production chain menu, it's automatically turned on and it is running, and we are starting to produce tailings and concentrate, so that is perfect. I think we can leave that sitting there and running, and while we're doing that we'll go and jump into the tailings truck and have a look at what we're going to have to set up for this. Alright, we've just got the front of the truck, or the truck bin there, backed in underneath the conveyor. Now obviously there's no animation on this, it's just a static object there. You can see where you need to park for that, but if we press the fill button now, you can see we've just filled up with tailings, 1400 litres, 11% there in the front. However, we're not going to do it that way, we are going to use auto drive, of course we are. So again, I've already set up a course here for this. We've got the gold wash plant tailings, and we are going to be taking this down to the train silo, because there is a market for tailings down there. So if we turn that on, we are under the trigger. Now it should wait there as it fills up and get both the truck and the trailer full. Once it is 100% full, it will head on down to the train silo and dump in there, and we can sell the tailings via the train. Now if we just have a look in the economies, right down the bottom, along with all the other bits and pieces, we have tailings here, $306. So by comparison, double the price of stones, so I'd say yeah, a little bit less than gravel, which is appropriate, I suppose. We don't want it to, we wouldn't expect it to be a very high price. So we'll leave that there running. Now it looks like the truck has dumped out, which must mean the plant has processed enough for it to find some space. So let's head back down into the pit. We'll leave this running and cycling. We will keep an eye here on this tailings truck because I wouldn't mind going for a ride with it down to the train silo and make sure everything is working correctly with that auto drive course. But in the meantime, let's carry on getting these trucks cycling and getting some more dirt up here into the wash plant. Alright, for a bit of an added challenge, let's see if we can load a truck here in first person view. There's quite good visibility actually looking at the front of this. Now the bucket's quite a way away, so it doesn't look like it's extremely close, and it doesn't look like it blocks your entire view. You can see the ground deforming there under the terra farm. There's our full bucket. We'll just get this turned around. And then somewhere here on the left is our truck, or both our trucks in fact. Let's get this hoisted up over top. Don't go too far. Be a perfect time to have some head tracking. There we go. That was actually quite smooth. So we'll just keep these two trucks moving, build up until we have something meaningful to go and have a look at up at the wash plant. Alright, just while we were waiting for the truck, I thought I'd climb up in here and have a little bit of a play in the excavator. Now I've got this set up obviously with terra farm exactly the same way. The only difference is we obviously can't reach a truck from right up here. Now excavators do work better when you're digging from above or digging a hole. Now we don't want to dig a hole in the pit. We want to be able to dig from up here on top or picking up off the face of it with the wheel loader like we have. But I just thought I'd have a look, see if we could dump some dirt down here off the edge. Not sure if it's even making it all the way down. It is actually. So let's just go on, carry on here. We might just get a few loads or a few buckets of dirt up out of here and just see what sort of dent we can make in it. Maybe lower this down a little bit. The other option would be to get a dozer, like a D10 dozer, and push some dirt off here. We could push towards the front and push it off down into piles, and then we'd be picking up loose material rather than picking up the face of the land and digging it with the terraform or terraform. So just something a little bit different, just showing you different ways we could be doing this. Now I'm using the Thrustmaster T1600M joysticks. I've got dual sticks which I use here for using excavators and forestry machines and things like that. Running the wheel loaders, I do just still use my game controller, PlayStation 4 controller. That has been the best way I have found for controlling something like that where there's lots of driving. But when you're stationary and you want to use all the different parts of the loader arm or the bucket and everything like that, this is certainly been the way I've enjoyed it the most. So if you have the opportunity to get your hands on some dual joysticks, I can thoroughly recommend it. Very, very enjoyable. But we've got both trucks back here now. We are chewing through some dirt up in the wash plant, which is good. So we'll hop back down into the wheel loader and we'll carry on with getting those loaded up and moving some more. So one thing I've just realised is a benefit of using the excavator and pushing. Look at how quickly we fill the bucket up. This is going to be much quicker. We're not sitting at the face of the mine there waiting for the terraform to do its thing and fill the bucket. We can drive into the actual material, the dirt that's down there, and it will fill up pretty quickly. So I'm actually starting to now wonder whether we might look at getting a dozer that we can park up on top and push some fill down, push some pay dirt down off the top and use that rather than having to wait for the terraform to do its thing. So that might be something we look at doing maybe next time. Maybe we can explore that next time. But for now I want to carry on getting these trucks moving and obviously getting some concentrate over into the gold rooms and seeing if we can get some gold made. So I just popped back up here to the wash plant and two things. One, we've got our first 2 pallets of concentrate there, so 1,000 litres of concentrate. We can take that up to the wash plant. And secondly, our tailings truck is getting very close to full. I think if we just pop up here and take a quick look, 88% full there on the tailings. Now one thing that's happening though, I'm getting creep in the trailer. You can just see, if you watch closely, zoom right in, the the trailer is moving on its own. Now I don't know whether that's a bug with the mod or a bug with the trailer or something else, who knows, but we obviously have that set to drive on at 85% as well, because we're moving before everything is full. Now we don't want that, because we obviously want to make sure we are getting as much in as we can. We don't want to be running down there empty, so we will come up here and change that to 100%, apply it, and we're just going to intercept this driver and make them do a U-turn around and head back and get this tailings full, because we want to head down to the train silo with as much as we can. Right, so that's back in position. Let's jump here into the pickup. We'll take the diesel back up and then we'll come back down with the gooseneck trailer, and we'll get a couple of those pallets of concentrate loaded up, and we'll get that ready to head up into the gold rooms. Before we get that concentrate taken up to the washroom though, we are going to ride along here with the tailings truck and head on down to the train silo. Make sure everything is working on our auto drive course here as we would expect. So we'll time-lapse this down there. You can keep an eye on it, make sure it goes well with me, and we'll catch up with you when we're down there. Alright, well, we've made it safely down here. Just look forward there and watch this tip, and that's a very nice animation on these trucks. I do, like I said earlier, really like them, because they're just so familiar to me, to what we have around our part of the world. Obviously not sure if it's exactly what might be in Wyoming, but nonetheless they are a very nice mod. Just have to sort out that creep on that trailer and figure out if it is a mod issue or something else causing that to happen. But there we go, we will let this move forward. It'll get the trailer tipped out and head back up to the mine. We will head back up ourselves and get back to work on moving that concentrate. Before we bring the concentrate up here, I've just put some more diesel here into the trailer, and we'll get this backed in here. I'm not exactly sure where the trigger is for this. Probably right back in the middle. Let's just back in here. We have to watch out for the crane. No, not back there. Let's just turn on some prompts. In fact, I wonder if it's probably out here with the strummers. Let's just check that first. Would make sense that the diesel's outside. No, not there either. Let's take a quick look. Should have looked around a little bit better. The generator, just like the wash plant, is around the back here. And then you can see the trigger for the diesel. That makes complete sense. There we are. Get that filled up as well while we're here. And then we can go and hook the gooseneck trailer up and head on down to the wash plant. Looks like it has a big diesel capacity. We've almost put 1,000 litres in, as you can see, and it's still in the red. So I think we'll just leave that at that. We won't need that much for now, and we will come back up and try putting some more in again later when we need it. But let's go and hook up to this trailer and go and get the concentrate down here. And would you believe it, it's just started raining as well. Just to add to the excitement up here at the gold mine. Hopefully we don't turn into a slushy mess. Alright, this is a good place to leave the trailer. It is out of the way of the tailings truck when they return. Now let's have a look here. See if we can carefully get these picked up. There we are. 1,000 litres of concentrate. This is most exciting. I'm actually quite impressed with how quickly we have managed to get this to appear. We'll just go and put this in the middle and go and grab... Whoop, stop it from coming with us. There we go. We will go and grab the other two and get on up to the washroom. Well, this has worked out to be perfect timing because we've just had a fourth pallet appear. Make sure we get it through the forks properly. There we are. So that just adds a little bit more to take up to the wash plant and get processing up there. So we'll get that on, we will go and get them tied down and move them up to the washroom. Oh, that's good timing. Here comes the tailings truck. Now, I'm not actually sure exactly where the auto drive course goes, so we will hang out of their way. But pleased to see they have managed to make it back without any issues. Now, just mindful actually having left those in the middle of the trailer that we don't have as much reach with the forklift. We can't sort of get in over top of the trailer like we can with the skid steer. So hopefully we can get these off, but let's go and have a look. We can just reach them if they're slightly offset. So we'll just bring that to the edge and move forward. That's something to remember for next time. Don't put the concentrate in the middle of the trailer because the forklift won't reach it. Leave it on the sides. Now, the one thing I did notice when I was testing this out is we couldn't just put it down there how it has this time. Last time, the concentrate wouldn't go out of the pallet. We had to tip it out. So good to see. That seemed to have worked properly. We'll get these other 3 all unloaded and go and put them in as well. And then we'll be able to have a look at the process, see how long it's going to take. And how long until we might have some gold to go and smelt. I must have got lucky with the sweet spot. It is quite high, so putting the box down low won't accept the concentrate into the wash plant. So we'll just show you that with this one when we get it inside. So with it there on the ground and even up a little bit, nothing is happening, but if we raise it up a little bit further, there we go. So it's a good 1.5 foot or so off the ground that the trigger is at. So just something to bear in mind when you are doing this yourself, that it might not disappear when you first put it in, but it is going to disappear. There is a trigger there for it. So there we are, 200 litres of concentrate is 100 litres of gold, and we already have 300 litres in there. So our 4,000 litres of concentrate is going to need us 2,000 litres of gold. So that is a nice little start. Now when we head over to the gold smelter, it does boil down and lose a little bit, but we are going to be in the position, once we've got this all processed, to be able to get some gold bars and potentially go down and sell them. We'll see how time is going for us. Just having a look there at the wash plant, it has chewed through all that dirt already. So while we're waiting for this to process, we'll go down and load a little bit more dirt up and get the trucks moving again, because we are paying workers' wages at the moment, which if you noticed on the hour, chewed up about $4,500. So not cheap, but we are making gold, which is good. It's back up here in the washroom and we've got our first gold. We just have a zoom in there. It is 100 ounces of Yukon gold. I did pick up on that in my last video with the, well, not the last video here, but my how-to mining video. But still, doesn't matter where it's from, so long as it is gold. So we're running through our concentrate pretty much. 700 odd litres left. So we'll get this one run over to the smelter. Won't quite be enough to get a full 1,000 litres of gold out at the smelter, but all the same, it will be worth getting that process started. So we're going to have a look in here. Pretty much exactly the same setup. The only difference is this doesn't require any diesel. We should be able to drive back down in here and see if we can find a trigger for this. I wonder if it's high or low like the other one was. We're in the wrong spot. It is over here next to the smelting pot, which makes sense, I suppose. There we go. Disappearing. And we should now go over and have a look at the spanner, where we can manage our production chain. And we can see our smelter there is starting to make gold bars. So once we get another pallet of gold over here, we will have more than enough to get our first lot of bars out of. So we'll go and wait for that, and then we'll be able to run some down into the sell point in town. Getting down to our last few litres of concentrate, and fingers crossed. Oh, look at that. We have 1 litre and 999, and it's not going to produce it. Right, we'll go down and see if there is one more pallet of concentrate that's come out of the wash plant. Look at that. It's our lucky day. And looks like the tailings truck is full, even with its trailer there on a funny angle. There we go. That did still work. So they will head on down to the train silo and go and get another load dumped down there. We'll have to have to make a trip down and to sell some more material out of there. Probably in the next episode. We'll might get the gravel mine up and running just to produce a few more supplies and get some more money in. Alright, we'll leave this on the edge of the trailer so we don't have to struggle with it with the forklift. That looks pretty perfect. Back this up here and leave it here. Let's go and get this up into the washroom. We'll probably find as quickly as this empties out, we will get a pallet of gold down there. There it is. Look at that. Just as we suspected. So let's get this over into the smelter as well, and that will give us more than enough for our first 1,000 litres of gold bars. There we go, we've got 1,500 litres of gold and 500 litres of gold bars already. So let's just wait here and we'll let this count up and get to our 1,000 litres of gold so we can get something running down to sell. I'm counting down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, gold. Let's go and have a look. Look at that, big pallet for only a few gold bars, but that is fantastic. First gold bars all made. So we'll go and put these on the trailer and let's get them down to the sell point, down into town, and make some money off them. It's all strapped onto the trailer. We are going to make our way down into town. Now I do like where the sell point is here for the gold. I think it's quite a nice little touch in the map. So we'll have a look at that when we get down there and see how much we can make off these first 1,000 litres of gold. So just up in here at the shops on the left, we'll go down this little side road and we'll pull up outside the pawn shop. Now I just think it is a great little touch that the gold bars are sold at the pawn shop. I think well, it was actually a sign on the door that said they bought gold, but maybe not. But we do need to back in here. It's a little hard to get in with the trailer, but let's just bring this over here and see if our gold will disappear. Here it is. It is going. It does say we buy gold. See there on the door. And all gone. $37,000. So not bad. We buy gold. Not bad, not bad. Now, interesting the amount of effort that went into that compared to selling the gravel and sand in the last episode, and the lime of course. You might argue there's actually more money to be made out of that, and you're probably not wrong. You probably could if you wanted to make things a little bit quicker that way. And in fact, I think doing the maths, you might even make more money selling all that dirt we dug if you'd ran the truck straight down here. But it's a long way to get to the train station, down to the silo to dump that dirt, and you'd need a number of trucks. Whereas everything for the gold is all done on site and all processed up there, so probably still more fun doing the gold, and you get to use all the different equipment and just try it out. It's part of the experience, so most enjoyable. Anyhow, that is going to be a perfect place to wrap up this episode. Great to get up into the gold mine like I was just saying, and have a bit of a play with the things up there. We will look at buying a dozer and bringing that in for the next episode, and just trying out a different way of stripping that pay dirt down and getting it into the trucks and up the hill. And I might look at replacing that other truck that wasn't working too well and running one of the bigger Volvos again, and maybe having 3 of them, figuring out the most efficient way. We obviously did let the processing plant, the wash plant, did run out of dirt on a couple of occasions, so we weren't doing it as efficiently as we could have, but something to work on and something to try and improve for next time. But anyhow, I do hope everyone has enjoyed that episode. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.